and welcome to another Ask Clever Dev, hashtag Ask Clever Dev, where you send us in your questions and we attempt to answer them, probably not very well, but whatever.
Clarina asks, if you could be any animal that's not in UCH, which would you be and why?
None of them, because all the best animals are in Ultimate Chicken Horse. Like, that's why we chose them. So there are none left. All other animals are terrible, unless they're coming to Ultimate Chicken Horse, and I can't tell you about those ones, because they're secret.
Let's go with dolphin. They look like they're having fun all the time. And they're not stupid. Smart animals and fun. Dolphins are good. Let's go with that.
Bunny asks, where did the name Clever Endeavour originally come from? I wasn't there when the name came up, so I can come up with an origin story, but it's probably going to be wrong, so I won't.
I think someone said it and then no one said anything better, and so it stuck.
Fishy asks, what inspired or influenced you to make Ultimate Chicken Horse? Again, I wasn't there at the start, so I'm not going to answer that one.
It started as a game jam game, and we sort of amalgamated a couple of different ideas into one thing that everyone was comfortable working with over a weekend, and just sort of evolved naturally over time.
Cocodad says, where or how did you learn the skills required to make a video game?
Some of them we're figuring out as we go along, just through trial and error, but in terms of technical skills, we all attended some sort of university or college that taught us how to do things properly, how to program, how to draw. I mean, I didn't learn how to draw.
I actually did a course on programming a couple of years ago that was called Code Liberation in London, and I made precisely one game and decided that I am not a programmer. So, but I can write. That's one of the skills required to make a video game, and I learned that in school. Stay in school.
Brontello asks, what was the very first game you worked on? Or was UCH your first one? Well, it was my first one. I know Kyler worked on something previously, but together this is our first game.
So because I do community, I don't really think this counts as working on the game, but I have actually made a game before, all on my own, kind of. I got some help. And it's called Awkward Dating Simulator. It is on itch.io if you want to play it. It has no bugs, which is pretty nice, but that's because it is basically a slideshow.
Ron the Human 055, I don't believe he's human, asks, what is your favorite video game? Mine, I guess, overall, Zelda has been my favorite series, but I like a lot of different games for a lot of different reasons. I try not to pick favorites. I
used to work for a Nintendo magazine, so people would ask me this all the time. So I had to come up with an answer, and my answer is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door on GameCube. It is the best game of all time. It's not just my favorite, it's just the best of all time.
Frage Blogger asks, you guys plan to make it possible that more than 4 players can play together?
If I say yes to this, does that mean you have to?
I don't. But it's not final, and it comes up every now and then.
Index says, what's the most weird or exotic thing you've ever eaten?
Weird or exotic? I guess that depends on where you're from.
Crocodile, ostrich, reindeer.
Poutine's a really weird thing. I mean, it's fries, cheese, and gravy, and it looks terrible. And I'm sure someone from way out in, I don't know, let's say Bangladesh would think that was the weirdest thing on earth, but it's amazing. There is no substitute.
I ate a heart once. It was cooked, and it was in a meal. It wasn't just for fun.
Clarina asks, if a UFO beamed you up and offered you to show you a preview of UCH2, would you want to see it?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to see it. I would have way more interesting things to ask than, hey, do you know what the sequel to Ultimate Chicken Horse is like? Like, no offense.
How did the UFO get our future game? I have more questions about this question.
If they can see the future, why do they want to show me that? Unless it's gonna like change everything, in which case I would want to see it.
General alone, no, because I don't like the whole self-fulfilling prophecy thing. If we're gonna make UCH2, it should be because we made it, and not because Destiny foretold it.
That's all the questions we have for today, but keep asking questions on Twitter, Discord, Reddit if you feel like it, and we'll gather them all up and ask the best ones in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for asking these ones though, they're very good questions, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Any new characters coming? Yes.